everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Our Work Future. I'm Sam.
And I'm Charles. Last week, our team had the incredible opportunity to be exhibitors at ACTE's Career Tech Vision event, held at the Phoenix Convention Center. This event is a cornerstone for career and technical education professionals, offering a wealth of knowledge about high-quality CTE in both secondary and post-secondary settings.
Here at People Work, we're always on the lookout for innovative approaches to connecting careers and education. And it's our pleasure to introduce you to someone who shares our passion for revolutionizing the future of work.
Meet Ben Peterson, the Director of CTE Solutions at zSpace. zSpace is a trailblazer in utilizing AR, VR, and AI technologies to offer students immersive experiences that mirror real-world job scenarios. By integrating these advanced technologies, zSpace is reshaping the landscape of the educational experience, aligning closely with our values at People Work.
Let's hear from Ben about how zSpace is leveraging these technologies to redefine learning and prepare students for the future.
So zSpace is incredible in that we're affording students opportunity to do things that are typically dangerous and impossible. Maybe they're counterproductive or too expensive to explore in the classroom, but we're bringing that all to the students right to their fingertips through zSpace and our VR technology. So the difference with our VR technology is it's all screen-based, so there's no barrier between the student and their collaborators or the students and their instructors. And so what I like about it, both as a former customer of zSpace and now an employee of zSpace, is it invites that collaboration on things we've never been able to work together on in the classroom. So obviously here at ACTE, we're very focused on our workforce development. And so through workforce development, we even have pre-certification programs. We're aligning ourselves with certifications, giving students the ability to practice, rehearse over and over and over so they can work towards those endorsements and certifications.
So the value, and I know what you guys are seeing in the background, the pin is actually a three-dimensional piece of human flesh or a different technology equipment. The power that's behind just a laptop and a pin, zSpace is pretty much conquering whether or not somebody in a rural area can get access to the most sophisticated information and training that, gosh, 5 years ago wasn't even available.
You're absolutely right. And the ability to get it into the hands of these students all over the U.S. One of my passion projects is working with incarcerated individuals as we prepare for them to leave their incarceration. How are we going to help them contribute to society? How are we going to help them get up on their feet? And it's through workforce development. However, traditionally, within the prison systems, it's very hard to give our students the opportunities. And so again, through a virtual experience, we remove so many safety barriers that are allowing so many students, whether they're EL students, whether they're incarcerated individuals, whether they have learning disability, right? There's a huge opportunity for students to get their hands on stuff very, very quickly, therefore engaging them and then hooking them and keep them within that same pipeline so they can go out and get great jobs and be well prepared for industry.
Well, well prepared for industry is one part of a very complicated skills gap conversation. One of the reasons why I just jumped on zSpace from, I gotta be aware of this technology, we have to find a way to work together, is because there's a passion and alignment with objective between People Work and zSpace that accessibility and simplifying really advanced technology to solve the world's problems is like a point of survival. It's not really a luxury anymore. Right. It's really a point of survival. So one of the things that I want you to speak to is how does this particular distribution method of curriculum and the way that you're using this advanced three-dimensional try before you stick somebody's eyeball out in real life, how does that work to solve a skills gap?
Well, in several different ways. Number one, I think the engagement. We're all visual learners. I think even those of us who say, you know what, I'm really book smart, whatever, when we get our hands involved, right, when we start to see processes, there are synapses that are being connected in our brain that we can't connect any other way, right? I always tell folks there's no way to compare a two-dimensional world to a three-dimensional world, right? And we're preparing our students for a three-dimensional world, but we've always used two-dimensional means. And so by being able to look at 3D aspects and understand and inspect and manipulate, it's going to give us just a little more confidence as we go out and apply skills. And that's what I see probably the most here is the confidence level of students before they go into a lab scenario. When they've been able to practice through a virtual experience, that lab experience is 2, 3, 4, 5 times more powerful because of that confidence they've built, the vocabulary they've built through those virtual experiences, and just being familiar with some of the tools that we're using in the lab. You know, we have to remember that our students come to us from all different areas, all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So many students in our automotive programs maybe have never opened the hood of a car, right? And then we have others who've been working with their family or friends on their vehicles for years.
Yeah.
And so I love affording the opportunity for students to kind of get on a level playing field before we get out into those experiences. I also think it's great for career exploration.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was one of those that didn't know what I wanted to do until I was late into my 20s. But it's because of exposure, right? And you only know what you've been exposed to. Yes. So to be able to provide a safe environment for young students or even adult students to get in and get their hands on, it can really ignite some passions. And that's just another great thing to see about zSpace through that virtual experience.
Okay, well, my last question for you is, everyone is so excited about augmented reality, virtual reality, AI. You know, in my opinion, where our technologies kind of meet is that we're already kind of behind that or in front of that. So I'm just curious to know, what is your reaction when people are like, okay, what are you doing zSpace for AI? And you're like, we're way beyond that? Or what do you say?
It's one of the most fun things to explain to people. It's also one of the most difficult things to explain to people because it's one of those things that you just have to experience, right? And I really think it's because our mind reacts to, we'll talk about AR, VR. Our mind reacts to AR, VR in a very different way than it reacts to any kind of traditional setting, right? Your brain's being tricked. Part of your brain's telling your brain that you're being tricked. The other part of your brain's saying, no, this is real. And so it's an incredible, deep experience, right? Even for your reluctant learners, when they get on a machine, whether it be with a head-mounted display or a zSpace machine, there's connections that are being made to really engross the students in their learning, right? And then when it comes to AI, I mean, obviously, this is another thing we're looking at, we're excited about, maybe we're scared about. There's a lot of emotion attached to it. But I think we also have to see AI for all the benefits that it's going to bring. We've worked with our developers and used AI to help solve some problems we've had on our development, right? Cool. And so with that, the speed of AI comes enhanced technology, enhanced production. And so things are just going to get better with AI. And again, our goal at zSpace is to prepare students for workforce. And so when we can do that in a more efficient manner or a better manner, there's not a thing wrong with AI, I don't think.
Thank you, Ben, for that insightful conversation and for sharing how zSpace is harnessing the power of AR, VR, and AI to transform educational experiences and with people work making innovations in tech like this accessible to everyone. It's exciting to see such alignment in our visions, as both people work and zSpace are dedicated to equipping learners with the tools and experiences they need to thrive in the ever-evolving job market.
Stay tuned for more updates and interviews as we continue to explore the dynamic world of career and technical education.